When you know that you are queer, but your favorite drink is beer, that's gayish. You can bottom without stopping, but your chance of going shopping, that's gayish. Okay, the crowd is gayish. Life is too short for narrow stereotypes, so it's gayish. We're also gayish. It's Gayish with Mike and Kyle.
Hello, everyone in the podcast universe. This is Gayish. Oh, great.
The podcast that's like a vacuum cleaner begging for the crummies.
Oh. We've talked about cummies, Kyle.
We've talked about the word cummies.
Not
a fan.
Not down. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz.
We're here to bridge the gap between sexuality and actuality. And
we're so excited you're here.
Hello, Los Angeles. Excellent work on arriving. Was everyone nice to you at the front door? Because they're union labor, so we're like trying to work out a thing. Big thanks to Akbar for hosting us. They're wonderful. Appreciate them. It is, of course, a live show tradition that we do not reveal the topic of the show for no good reason until well into the show. How's your LA experience, Kyle?
Hot.
It is so fucking hot here. This is the sluttiest I've dressed for a live show ever. And it's perfect. It's just because of utility. Like, I'm just hot.
The light's reflecting off of Mike's thighs right now. It's its own spotlight. Yeah. You have doomy pants on.
And it's just for you.
I know. I'm the only one that can see him. That's okay. I appreciate a little... they're like...
They go up there.
So much legs.
So much legs.
How's your LA so far?
What was that fever dream we went through last night? We went downtown.
We went to we've eaten Mexican food for every meal, of course, and we got what I think is a very LA waitress. Her nose was kind of up, and she walked over and she's like, "Hi." I was like, "Hi." She's very sweet, but it's how are you doing?
Yeah. It was great.
It was delicious, though.
It was delicious, yeah.
And then we went to the Eagle.
We did go to the Eagle. It was Meat Rack was the name of the event last night. Anybody, you got a round of applause? You've been to Meat Rack?
Oh.
Okay, great.
It's been a minute since I've been to an Eagle of any sort.
Yeah, they're all like, they're not a chain. We've talked about that on the show before. Like, there's no central, like, Eagle management person, but they all are, like, kind of dark, black paint, probably bars on the window or inside or both. And it was like bear stripper night, I guess. Like that's what Meat Rack was.
Isn't that every night? I think that's just the Eagle.
I think that's, yeah, you might be right. But this in particular, okay, so we were sitting at this table and didn't realize that like the box next to us was going to be where the dancing was going to happen. So Adam got up and went to the bathroom. My fraternity brother Adam, who's working the door today, got up to went to the bathroom, and then I sat in his chair. And the next thing I know, there's a bear go-go boy stripping, like right here at this level, and then he immediately like walked in front of me to bend down to talk to a patron and get money from them, and it was just his hole. Like it was just like very very close to me.
So you had a second meal that night?
Yeah, exactly. yeah. And then we went to. We went to the Black Cat, which the Black Cat has history. I don't know if you've been to the Black Cat. It's here in Silver Lake, but it's like Stonewall was not the beginning. Like there were other riots and raids. There were other raids that happened with the police, and we were organized well before that. Anyway, the Black Cat is like one of the places that happened. That's our Patreon segment this week.
That's going to be it for Patreon. Mike did research for fun, so we decided to talk about it.
I was on the plane. I was bored.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, I get it. And then we went to...
the new Jalisco? I did not understand what was going on. It was part quinceañera, part trashy go-go boy, part like farm convention. Like everybody was wearing like jeans and button-up shirts and hats, and Like
there were drag queens, but they were just women. They weren't drag queens. They were just women that were dancing.
They
But
appeared to
they
be, like,
had all the presentation of a drag queen.
cis women lip syncing, and all of these men like putting cash down their breastages. It was wild. But then, so for a little bit, we were like, is this a queer place? We don't know. And then one of the go-go boys, which there were go-go boys, but that could be for the ladies. You don't know.
Yeah.
But he walked over and literally said hello by grabbing our hands and putting them on his penis. Like,
Yeah.
let's just, you shake hands with your dick at the new Jalisco, everybody. So,
You called his penis.
a pork loin. That thing was, it was impressive.
It was a fine how do you do, if I say so myself.
Okay, we talked about LA enough. Moving on. How many? A round of applause. How many of you have heard the show before? Excellent. And then the follow-up question. Round of applause. You gayish virgins? Great.
Yes.
Excellent. You're welcome. Great. And then the other question I'd like to ask.
I wanted to say it'll all make more sense soon, but I don't know if that's true. At some point, this show will make sense to you, but I don't know.
Nope.
I don't know.
Nope.
Probably not.
Round of applause. How many queer folks? Great. And then other than anybody working the door, straight people. Yes!
Yeah! This will never make sense to you.
Awesome. Welcome. I hope you survive your experience today. Well, so just for you and you alone, this is a very not safe for work show. It's R-rated. We talk about gay stereotypes. We do one topic a week. This will be episode 351, so there's a lot to go through if you want to. We've only missed a couple of weeks in like 6.5 years. Please take as many selfies and videos and whatever as you want to, and then tag them at Gayish Podcast. It gives Derek something to do with our social medias. And then at the end of every show, we do our Gayest and Straightest, where we talk about the stereotypically gayest and stereotypically straightest thing about us that week. And just to show that there's a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B for everyone. So if you would like to share yours at the end of the show, we would love to have you. There's a microphone up here. We'll have you give us your Gayest and Straightest, and you can walk home with one of those mugs up there on the rail. So be thinking about that, but you've got an hour or so to get your shit together. Speaking of getting our shit together, Kyle.
Yeah, Mike?
Behind this, like, vagina wall curtain thing that we came out of is, like, the green room.
Yeah.
There's no booze in the green room.
Well, there were stacks of booze that seemed like they were for for the
Customers.
bar
Yeah,
and
yeah.
customers that I don't think we should have taken.
Can somebody get us booze?
Oh.
Booze.
Is that
Is
that
Yes, I love volunteers.
is that a
Don't pay for it. Just, like, take one of the tickets from Adam at the door and, okay.
I didn't know that was a power we had.
I didn't either. This is magical. Does anybody want to get me a go-go boy?
Can I have a boyfriend?
Great.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. We also, at the end of the show, for no reason whatsoever, we take a shot at a break. We do a break and we take a shot. And if you want to do shots with us, make sure you have a shot. Again, toward the end of the show.
Yeah.
Did we do it, Kyle?
I think so. I think this is gayish.
Great.
Goodbye.
All right.
What kind of beer do you want?
A PBR, please. That would be great. What do you want? PBR. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
They know you, Kyle.
I have a brand to maintain.
Right, exactly.
I didn't ask for rosé. I think, is it time for the news?
Great, sure. Yeah, here's the news.
Shut your mouth hole, it's time for your ear holes. News.
Great. News the first. So apparently, Lil Nas X has a documentary coming out
I saw that. Good for him, but
called Lil Nas X Long Live Montero. And it was supposed to premiere at 10 p.m. at Roy Thompson Hall at the Toronto Film Festival this last Saturday night. And then it was delayed because someone phoned in a bomb threat. Because Lil Nas X is the problem, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the security team said, quote, earlier this evening we were made aware by the Toronto Police Service of an investigation in the vicinity of the red carpet for the Lil Nas X Long Live Montero screening. Our standard security measures remained in place during this time, and the screening commenced with a slight delay. Someone was quoted as saying that it was a credible threat that was specifically targeted to Lil Nas X because he is a queer person of color.
Wow.
And so they shut it down. So I was like, okay, how late did it start? It was supposed to start at 10 o'clock. The screening began at 10:30. So I guess that's all it takes.
Never get in the way of a gay the mildly inconvenienced.
Yeah. You know, some bitch with a clipboard was like, we are going to get this shit figured out.
Was there enough going on with that album that we needed a documentary about it? I mean, it was good, but...
Well, and also, like, Montero, that was like, what, 2021? 2022? I would think that you would want to, like, coordinate it better so that, like, the documentary came out, like, earlier.
There's been bomb threats for years, and it's finally getting released.
But anyway, so he did a Q&A after the premiere and told the audience that he wants to branch out into folk music or Brazilian funk.
I almost had him pegged for Brazilian funk, sure. Yeah.
Anyway, that boy hot. Okay.
Great.
News the second. So... First out gay NFL player and top 3 people who I want to crush with their thighs. Carl Nassib is retiring.
Sorry, this is a football guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Carl, you know this bitch. Look, this bitch. That's him and his boyfriend. Which?
Oh, the gay one.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm here with you. Okay, got it.
Carl Nassib. Yeah, he played for the Cleveland Browns, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Las Vegas Raiders. Thanks, John.
Thank you so much.
This is so great. Anyway, he said, quote, football has given me more than I ever could have imagined. I can truly hang up my helmet for the last time knowing I gave it everything I had. He's retiring at the ripe old age of 30.
I mean, don't stay in football too long. That shit fucks up your head.
Yeah.
That knocks your shit around.
Yeah.
Your brain isn't supposed to jiggle like that.
Keep your head intact and work on that hole instead.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, Carl Nassib is retiring. Carl Nassib, sit on my face. Okay. News the last?
Yeah.
Okay, great. News the last. So there is a survey from the University of East Anglia in collaboration with King's College London and University College London, so all in the UK. They were studying the way that Mpox, we're not supposed to call it monkeypox, it's
right.
Mpox.
Right.
They were studying the way that Mpox spreads, but then they got a whole bunch of information about the sex habits of people, because that was the point.
Yeah.
But they discovered that many gay and bisexual men over 70 have multiple sex partners per month.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
There's hope for us.
I can't wait to be over 70 and having multiple sex partners.
I'm in my 40s and it's not happening.
Was this a surprise to them?
I mean, there's just so... You know that study, I think we talked about it on the show like a million years ago, that was trying to say that like the body count of gay people is still in the single digits, and I was like, no, it is not.
Yeah.
You were wrong
That's
about
a
that.
tough pill to swallow.
But this is pointing to that instinct being correct. That they spoke to more than 5,000 people and found that straight women over 50 basically don't bang at all.
Oh.
They found that 79% of heterosexual women and half of straight men over 70 had 0 sexual partners in the last 3 weeks.
I mean, I get it.
But by contrast, almost 20% of gay or bi men over the age of 70 reported more than one sex partner in the last 3 weeks. And only 2% of straight people over 70 reported multiple partners. So
only 2%.
Yeah.
Man, those 2% though,
yeah.
They're living it up. They're enjoying their life, as we all should be.
I legit I hope that that's true. You know what I mean? Like, ageism is real, especially in the gay community, and
sure.
the idea that like well into your older age, you could still be just like fucking up a storm is pretty amazing, I think.
That's why I want to live at a gay retirement home.
Oh my God.
I can just fuck everyone. Like, they're all right there.
Can you imagine, like, if it's 2070 something maybe, and like Lady Gaga's playing in the rec room, and like
Pop, poker face. I'm like, I was there. I remember.
you're eating dinner at 4:00 in the afternoon,
Yeah.
and reminiscing about Lil Nas X or whoever.
Yeah, go to the guy next door to get fucked.
Right.
Yeah.
Apparently, even straight old folks' homes are just like riddled with STIs.
I know, right? Hot.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, that's the news, Kyle.
That's the news. Speaking of the news, I want to thank Patreon. I didn't have a good segue. That's okay. I just wanted to say thank you to Patreon because Patreon is the reason that we can even do this tour.
True story.
So if you are anyone a Patreon here? Member here? Oh God.
See, and I thought they all came to the Chicago show.
You all know. If you want bonus content episodes, support us. You can go to patreon.com/gayishpodcast.
Absolutely. Ooh, you're grabbing your sign.
It's time for the topic reveal, I think.
Is it? Okay. So, like I said, we...
Your thighs, sorry, they're like, they're...
Well, here, let me pull my...
No. I didn't... You don't have to stop. They're just right. They're just right there looking at me.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, for no good reason, we hide the topic until right now. And so what I want you to do, like Family Feud style, when they turn over the leftover answers and the crowd yells them back, we want you to yell the topic at us on the count of three. Is everybody ready? Great. 3, 2, 1. Fingering. We're going to talk about fingering. Yeah. Nobody looks uncomfortable about that at all.
I'm so excited to talk to you about fingering, Mike.
Are you?
Yeah.
Great.
Also, during the show, when we point at you, we want you to say fingering because it's fun to make people yell fingering at you. So, fingering! Thank you so much. Are you ready for me to start?
We were going to blame this on the Patreon happy hour.
Oh, yeah.
So we asked Patreon happy hour, like, hey, what are some suggestions for live show topics? And this one came up. Those happen every quarter, so if you ever want to like join us, every level of Patreon is welcome. And so that way we don't have to be blamed for the topic today.
Yeah, it's not our fault.
Unless you love it, then it was totally our idea.
Okay, now are you ready for me to tell you
Yeah.
about the tips?
Tips for...
Sorry.
Yeah.
Tips for fingering. So I wanted to start by there was a question on Ask Gay Men on the subreddit Ask Gay Men asking any tips for fingering a guy. The details were I'm probably going to finger a dude's ass in a few days. Is there like something that's not obvious that would help me? IDK LOL. So this
Not obvious.
Non-obvious tips. These the comments were pretty obvious, but we'll go through those and other tips that I found on the internet. The first one is be gentle.
Yes. Be gentle.
Sorry, do we need to back up and be like fingering with gay dudes? You stick it up the butt sometimes, and it can be
A finger. You put a finger up there, but I don't know.
or two, or okay. How many until it's fisting?
Right.
I think thumb has to be no, but you can thumb someone and that's not fisting. So it has to be all five to qualify. I think so. We're talking 4 or less fingers in the butt.
Is fingering.
Is fingering, right?
Okay.
I'm asking Mike. He's the one with the microphone. So, yeah, to start off, be gentle. Use lube, and a lot of people in the comments recommended silicone lube.
Why?
Because it lasts longer. I think the water stuff you have to reapply.
Yeah, but okay. It doesn't matter what you're putting up there. You need to reapply. I think
There's silicone lube that lasts for days. You'll be lubed up tomorrow if you use silicone lube.
There was this one time way back in the day when we still worked at that I went to the gym with somebody and he tried to do a handstand and just immediately fell on his ass, and it's because his hands had gotten sweaty and he had lube on them and he just couldn't get traction. So yeah, you're right. It lasts a long time.
It lasts a bit. I like silicone. That's what I prefer.
Okay.
This is the most obvious one. Cut your nails.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
I don't.
Yes.
In the fisting episode, which we got a bunch of hate mail about this week from this one dude, so I then went back and re-listened to it so that I was all incredulous. I was going to defend myself, but in that we said wear a glove, and that you don't have to cut your nails. You can just put cotton balls in the tips of the glove and put the glove on.
That's weird advice for fingering, I think.
Think so?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that would be weird. A gloved, cotton-balled hand that you're fingering with? That...
I like the gesturing. That's good.
I mean, this is one of the tips. You go in and you kind of go, oh, yeah, this is how you find the prostate. Okay. If he's laying on his back and you're facing him, you go, and that's how you hit the prostate.
Okay.
That's...
In, palm up, and then
Yeah, only a couple...
like a come here.
Like a come here. Oh, yeah, I should
Sailor.
be doing this. It's only a few inches deep, so you don't have to get in there. You can just stick a finger or two in there and just do a little come here.
Unless you're me, I think my prostate is like 14 inches in there because can never find it.
That may be the problem. I don't think it's 14 inches deep.
Oh, I'm looking too hard.
You're looking too deep.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's not as deep as you think. In addition to cutting your nails, if you're not going to do the weird gloved Q-tip thing, then
cut your nails. Just
cut
wash your hands and cut your nails.
Cut your nails the day before. File them so there aren't any sharp edges. And someone said a tip is to find out if your nails aren't filed enough. Try to scratch the inside of your mouth, and if you can scratch the inside of your mouth, yeah, that's okay. Right? Like, the inside of your mouth is anus-like. It is, mine is, but that's a different story. Let's see. Put down a dark towel or waterproof blanket.
A dark towel.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know.
I know.
You know.
I know.
You know. You know. Let's see. I think this is a key one that a lot. Now, every time I use my finger to make a point, I'm going to feel uncomfortable about it. Look, when you insert your finger, I'm going to insert my finger in you. When you consensually, when you insert your finger, this is a tip from the internet. In the first 30 seconds to a minute, let the receiver just get used to the sensation of having something up there. Start moving once the receiver is a little bit more used to the feeling.
Okay.
So you don't have to dive in and go swimming. You know, like you can jump in and kind of hang out there for a second.
Yeah. Acclimate.
You know. Get used to the water.
Right.
Feel it out.
Huh.
Well, don't feel it out. Okay. If it gets uncomfortable, if it gets really uncomfortable, stop. It might be a little bit uncomfortable, but if it gets too uncomfortable, stop. And this is a good tip, is that the receiver...
It's a good tip for everything sex, really.
For most everything, yeah. Whoever is the receiver is the one that is in control. It seems like it's the opposite, but this is how, like, dom-sub things work, too. Like, the receivers should be the one who is in charge. This is an easy one, but a good one. Ask if he likes it. I lie when people, if they're doing something that's just mediocre and they ask if I like it, I say yes.
Really?
I don't want to be mean. I don't know. What am I going to do? Like, nope. How is this? Bad. Try it again. Do something different.
Do better.
Do better differently. Let's see. When you're touching his prostate, the type of touch, it's better to do a deep massage, more of a deeper massage than a caress.
Okay.
So you're not like brushing past it, on the way to the grocery store. You're deep massage.
Like get in there.
Get in there.
Okay.
Yeah. And lastly, if some poop makes a cameo, it's no big deal. Get some soap and water.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Any other tips, Mike, that you have for fingering?
Oh, goodness. I mean, booze helps.
That's a good tip. For my sex, mostly it's like be drunk.
Yeah.
That's a bad tip.
Okay, so I will say, like maybe do it in the bath at first, or at least like, I don't know.
To try it out?
To try it out.
Oh.
Or like in the shower. Like,
yeah.
I'm not super into piss play, but one of the things I hear over and over again is like, pee on each other in the shower first. Because then you're already in the shower.
Yeah.
So if you're not into it, great. It's going to wash away.
Wow. Yeah, if you're taking a risk and trying piss play and you're not sure, yeah, shower for sure.
But like similarly, like if you're in the bath or a hot tub, then like that I think feels safer. As a person who's like very worried about the poop part, I think that makes it safer.
I got fingered in a hot tub. I just remembered.
Great.
Oh, it was fun.
Do you want to share more about that, or?
It was with a hookup buddy who tries to stay after and talk to me, and I'm like, I don't need to know about your job, dude. Like,
just shut up and go.
Yeah. Where are your clothes again? Like, let's go. Anyway, but he's super hot though.
No, don't talk to my dog. Get your shit and leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he invited me over, and we had a 4-way in the hot tub.
Oh. Ooh.
It was fun.
Who were the other two?
I don't know.
Oh.
Well, I met them.
Great.
and then I met them.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you got, Mike?
Well, okay. I'm going to talk to you about the history of... Except
I'm
not really.
warm. I just got really warm.
A 4-way fingering in a hot tub?
Yeah.
That's the bar?
That's the line. Whew, thanks for this rosé. Sorry, you're going to talk about not the history.
Well, I am going to talk. It is related, but I'm going to talk to you about this kind of fingering. I just flipped off the crowd, everybody at home.
Is that because like we've been sticking stuff up our butts, including fingers, since forever?
Like, have you seen the adorable videos of like the monkeys who like poke each other in the ass with their fingers? And like,
no.
There's this adorable monkey baby who like puts his own finger up his own ass and then smells it and falls out of the tree. Anyway,
yeah.
The primates have fingers and they put them in things, and that includes each other. So like it's prehistoric, but the finger gesture as like an insult goes all the way back to ancient Greece, and it was also used in ancient Rome after that. But the thing that I didn't realize is that it is legit supposed to be the phallus, and apparently the fingers next to the middle finger are the testicles. But it was used in ancient times as a symbol of sexual intercourse, and it was supposed to degrade, intimidate, and threaten the individual receiving the gesture. They had their name for the bird was the catapagori,
Sure.
which is from kata, meaning downwards, and puge, meaning ass.
Poogate?
Rump, buttocks. But it meant downwards asshole is what it meant, and it was supposed to be. It referred to a man who submits to anal penetration. So this is going in your ass. You're being fingered by that finger when somebody flips you off.
Hot.
And I never really thought of it as like, oh, that's a dick, or something that's meant to go inside of somebody. But that is the origin of that hand gesture. It came to the United States in the 1890s because of Italian immigration. The Italians have been using it for a long ass time, but it was them moving to the States in the 1890s that like made it a thing here. Baseball players, it's a baseball player, is the first photograph of somebody flipping the camera off as a baseball team.
Do you know which one? I don't know any baseball teams. I don't know why I asked that question.
I don't know the answer because I didn't write it down.
Care. Yeah.
And then I thought it was really interesting reading up on this that apparently in Canada it's your right to flip people off. Is that like free speech? There was a court decision in 2023, just this year in February, that said there was a Canadian man who was accused of criminal harassment because he flipped people off. And the judge said, quote, "To be abundantly clear, it is not a crime to give someone the finger. Flipping the proverbial bird is a God-given, charter-enshrined right that belongs to every red-blooded Canadian." It may not be civil, it may not be polite, it may not be gentlemanly. Nevertheless, it does not trigger criminal liability.
Okay. It's our right to flip people off. I guess so.
The man was acquitted. So then that got me down this thing of like other kinds of fingering, and by that I mean other kinds of like obscene gestures. Apparently, the V sign, if your palm is toward you, is super offensive in Commonwealth nations. So we're talking like New Zealand, Australia, not Canada, which I don't understand why not, but yeah, so a V out is great because that's a victory signal or a peace sign, but the other direction is like you're flipping people off. And which apparently some of our politicians in the past have gotten in trouble because they didn't know the difference. There's the dulia, which is the fig sign, and it looks like this. If you do the I've got your nose, little baby thing, in
That's perfectly clear for our listening audience,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
But in Russian countries, Russian-speaking countries especially, this is a similar like "fuck you" kind of a gesture.
Oh, wow.
It's also used that way in Indonesia, Turkey, Korea, China, Mongolia, and Hungary. Then there's the sign of the horns, like this. Like if you think of like a death metal band doing,
Or you're making a little dog.
or like that, same thing.
This is UT.
Yeah,
Hook 'em.
Hook 'em horns. Apparently,
Which they told us not to do that in Spain.
Yeah.
They were like, no.
I'm glad that you said it before I said it, Kyle. Don't do that in Spain or in Italian. Which part of it is because it means you're calling somebody a cuck. It's about.
Oh, also hot.
It's about.
This is great.
It's about cuckolding. In fact, the slang for cuck or cuckold in Italian, Greek, and Spanish is cornuto or cornudo, and that means horned. So you're calling somebody a cuck. There's the mutza, which in Greece, which is 5 fingers spread wide and the palm pushed towards somebody. Or you can do a double mutza, which it looks like jazz hands to me. But like,
that to me is like Hayukin. What is it on Street Fighter?
Yeah, it does look like that. You're super right. But yeah, it's a very similar obscene gesture. I guess thumbs up is bad in Iran and Iraq because it means shove it up your ass or go fuck yourself.
We have a lot of like ways to say like go fuck yourself or I'm gonna fuck you or I'm gonna fuck someone. Like we have a lot of hand things that say that.
Yep. And the OK symbol is not okay in Turkey, Tunisia, and Greece, or in parts of the Middle East, because that is a butthole, and you're saying that you are a homo.
Because of the butthole?
Because of the butthole.
But
This that's a thing you're into.
But
that's what you're saying with OK.
We all have butts.
We all have butts.
Everybody has a butt.
And then last but certainly not least in this like other kinds of fingering, I'm super excited by this thing that I found.
Okay.
And okay, what's this called, Kyle?
That's one in the pink, 2 in the
It's called the.
Oh, the shocker.
It's called the shocker.
I knew it before you said it.
This is the shocker, also colloquially said as 2 in the pink and 1 in the stink, which very clinically Wikipedia says, which is the number of fingers inserted into the vagina and into the anus, respectively.
That great.
They also make it clear that if you put your thumb, you're also saying that you're willing to stimulate the clitoris while you're doing that.
Oh, everyone, put out your thumb when you're doing the shocker. Focus on her pleasure.
Yep.
For once.
Yeah. So I found I can't. It makes me giggle. There's this whole history to it. Apparently, it was a bunch of high school students in this. I think it was here in California that really made the shocker famous, and that was back in the late 90s and early 2000s. But the thing that I just keep laughing about is this thing I found on collegehumor.com, which is variations of the shocker.
Oh, I didn't know we needed that.
Yeah, it's 1 finger, that's the teaser, the pleaser, 2 fingers, the shocker, and the spocker. They also go on to say the rocker and the showstopper, but just the fact that there's the teaser, the pleaser, the shocker, and the spocker makes me so happy. And on melmagazine.com, there's this whole article, and it's called "Can the Shocker Be Redeemed?" And they talked to this woman named Lauren, who is 29, and they were asking her, "Have you ever actually done the shocker?" And somebody on Reddit said, quote, "The name is awful, but the act is fun. Female here, tried it, and though I'm turned off by the name, the act is so good. My husband does it to me on a regular basis. I can knock out an orgasm fast that way."
When you just need to knock one right off.
But the Spocker, which I can't get over, especially because Ethan Peck is fucking hot and he plays the new Spock, and like he can do whatever he wants to me.
I only know that because whenever he's on screen, you go, "Hot Spock!"
Because that boy hot.
Yeah.
But she says that she and her husband have even tried the Spocker, which is we'll put it on social media, but it's Leonard Nimoy's famous "Live Long and Prosper" hand signal from Star Trek, and she said, quote, "If the shocker don't rock her, Spocker."
That's beautiful.
Anyway, that's different kinds of fingering, Kyle.
Well, you know what I'm going to tell you about is some Gata.
Gata, everybody loves the numbers.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you Gata on
Yeah.
But to start off, I need to ask a question.
Okay.
What is sex?
Oh God, Kyle. What is anything?
What is life?
What is life?
What is this world?
What is sex? So we've talked about this a few times on the show, but I have boiled it down so that my personal definition of sex is anything anyone does with someone else that could lead to them having an orgasm. So for most people, that is some kind of a physical stimulation of the genitals in a way that could lead them to get there. Now, I feel problematic about that because I don't think that orgasm is necessarily like the end-all be-all reason for sex. Sometimes it's nice to like just get fucked and not come, right? And that's totally valid. But I think that anything that you could do with someone else that one of you is going to have an orgasm, I think that that's what counts as sex. So making out, no. Making out with their dick, yes.
This study tried to decide what do people count as sex.
Great, okay.
So we'll try to answer this question, at least according to what, in general, on average, what people think. This study is called The Sexual Behavior, Definitions of Sex, and the Role of Self-Partner Context Among Lesbians, Gays, and Bisexual Adults. This is by Kelsey K. Sewell, Larissa A. McGurdy, and Donald S. Strassenberg in the Journal of Sex Research in 2016. They asked people the question, would you say you had sex with another person if the most intimate behavior you engaged in was blank?
Okay, great.
And then they had filled in the blank with 11 different possible things.
Great.
And people said yes or no, is this sex?
Okay.
So for men, there are two things that, men having sex with men, there are two things that hit 90% plus.
Okay.
And everything else was less than 2/3 of people thought it was sex.
Okay.
So there was a clear two things that were sex. Do you know what they are?
P in the A.
Fucking and being fucked.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So those two things for men who have sex with men, insertive and receptive anal intercourse, a little over 90% of people said that yes, that is sex. Who are the 10% that said no, that's not sex? I don't know why we're not really sold that that's sex.
Oh my God, maybe the Mormons. There was this Mormon girl in my high school who swore to God that there was this thing among Mormon kids that fucking in the ass didn't count in the eyes of Jesus, so that was okay. That it was the P and the V sex that they had to be worried about. That the P and the A was fine.
I did not consider how many Mormons were in this survey, but that's not 10%. That's not. I don't know.
Right.
Anyway, there are three things that over 50% of people said yes, it's sex, and that's 69ing.
Great. Yeah.
That's blowjobs.
Yeah, which is just half the number of blowjobs of a 69.
Yes, there's 69, and then half of 69, which is just a blowjob, and then rimming. Those are the three things that over 50% of people said that yes, it is sex. So not on the.
Should we start calling blowjobs a 34 and a half? Is that?
I like it.
Okay, great.
I really like it. So fingering, only 42% of people said that yes, that was sex.
I mean, I disagree. But
Do you think fingering is sex?
I think yes.
Okay.
And here's the thing: I might have my instinct might be to say no, but I recapitulated just a little bit ago my personal definition of sex, and you can for sure make somebody come just with your fingers. So it's sex.
There is the second to lowest one on this list is dildo in anus. 39% of people said yes, that is sex. If you put a dildo in my ass, we had sex. That's what I'm one of the 39% of people.
Yeah.
What
is a dildo but a really big finger?
It's basically fingering me with a plastic, For women, however, women having sex with women, there was nothing that hit over 90%. No one act was over 90% said, yep, that's definitely sex. So things ranged anywhere from 23% to 80%, but it was just this kind of big range of why are you giving me that look?
Nothing's good enough, I guess. I don't know.
Well, okay, so here's what the study said, and it's really smart, so I'm just going to read it instead of trying to say it in my own words. If penile penetration is a crucial component of definitions of sex for most people, and there are no behaviors which women in same-sex encounters engage involving penile penetration, it is reasonable that no gold standard would exist for these women. So it basically, we think of putting a penis in something as sex.
Okay.
And anything else we don't, or a lot of people don't consider that sex. So it makes sense with two women. There's just a spectrum of what people consider might be sex.
I'm back on board. Okay. That makes sense. The lesbians ruined the curve on that one.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
80% of people said 69ing was sex, and that is the top answer.
Yeah, okay.
Did
scissoring make the list?
Yes, scissoring made the list, and 69% said it's...
Nailed it.
It's sex.
Nailed it.
Love that for them. Let's see. Other things that made above 70% were eating out, dildo and vagina, double-ended dildo. Something that...
They got real specific.
They got real specific.
Hanging upside down in the garage. Yeah. Okay, great.
Let's see. Fingering also had 69%, said that is sex. Mutual fingering, that is... Fingering a vagina is 69%. Mutually fingering each other's vaginas is 62%. And fingering their ass is one of the lowest ones at 48%.
Okay.
So I don't know. We don't really think of, on average, it's not one of the top sex acts.
Yeah. Okay.
We don't necessarily think of, oh my God, thank you.
Oh.
We do not necessarily think of fingering as sex.
Is that water?
In a little tiny glass. Have a sip and see if that's water.
No, but thanks. We do need shots for when it's time to take shots. So that's helpful. It's just GHB, maybe. It is LA.
Wow. That's the Gayda.
Awesome. Well, I just have this is a little quick segment, but I do want to talk about is fingering safe? In my head, I thought, oh, that's tequila. I can smell it now. Yep. Is fingering safe? So I think of most things that are like masturbation, hand jobs, even oral sex. I think as being super duper mostly safe.
Yeah.
And I had in my head this idea that fingering was mostly without risk at all. And I think that's true, but there is a big asterisk, and that's just what I wanted to share with everybody. The Journal of Sexually Transmitted Infections had this study, and the objective was, quote, to determine whether patients with genital warts carry HPV DNA on their fingers.
Oh, I wouldn't have thought about that.
And so they had 14 men and 8 women with HPV, with genital warts, actually, and they had samples taken from genital lesions, their fingertips, and the tips of their fingernails, and then they studied those samples for the presence of HPV DNA. And the results were that HPV DNA was detected in all of the female samples, fingers, and 13 out of 14 of the men.
Wow.
So it was detected in the finger brush samples of 3 women and 9 men. And the same HPV type was identified in genital and hand samples in 1 woman and 5 men. The conclusion was that they've identified that hand carriage of genital HPV is possible. Although sexual intercourse is considered the usual mode of transmission, genital HPV infection, our findings raise the possibility of transmission by finger genital contact. So just be careful.
Be careful. I thought of one of the biggest risks is like if you like kind of scratch or tear up the inside of your butt, then that makes like lesions and stuff make you more likely to get like STIs or HIV or whatever.
I think that's true. Probably. It sounds. Let's just pass it off as fact.
That sounds
We're
sounds
doctors.
factual.
We're
Yeah.
basically doctors. No, but if people followed your like top tips from the beginning, they cut their nails and it's fine.
Yep. I guess in a similar vein, there's I have something that's from myvagina.com that.
Do you have that bookmarked?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's my daily read. They give you vagina affirmations.
Great.
No, I don't know. But it had the question: can fingering result in pregnancy? You would think no, except why did I ask then if that's the answer?
I think probably yes. I'm going to guess yes.
It can't unless.
I went to Zilla Public Schools, so.
Oh, I went to school in Texas.
Okay.
They
Okay, great.
teach you just don't. Like that's sex education. No. You can get pregnant if you're ovulating or near just past ovulation and are fertile, and there is live sperm on the fingers doing the fingering.
Great.
So that's a really specific set of scenarios that probably won't happen.
How long can sperm live?
That's a good
on
question.
your finger?
I don't know. Myvagina.com didn't have any more details. So I have no idea. Okay. I am going to tell you about finger length.
Finger length.
Yes.
Is this the whole like this? If this finger is longer than that finger, you're a faggot or whatever.
Almost.
Okay.
It's if your index and ring finger, it's the comparative size of those. So.
Wow.
This,
Yours are like the same length, and mine like whatever knowledge you're going to drop on me.
Mine are not the same length. It's about your left hand, actually. Anyway, let me tell you the information before we start comparing.
Okay, great.
A study by researchers from the University of Essex, published in the Archives of Sexual Behavior, they looked at 32 identical twins, which I love twin studies because that's like you control for so much in that.
Yep.
But the sexual orientations were different. They looked at the relationship between the index finger and the ring finger. And so for women, typically, for women, their index finger and ring finger are similar in length. For men, there is a greater difference between your index finger and your ring finger. And we're like talking centimeters here. So like it's not like, you're not going to be able to look at your fingers and know if you're like stereotypically woman or man fingers. But so women typically had index and ring finger similar in length. Lesbians had more male typical finger length than their straight co-twin,
Okay.
but just in their left hand. So on their left hand, their ring and index finger were more similar or more different in length.
Wild. Okay.
So the possibility is that lesbians are exposed to testosterone in the womb, and that's one of the reasons that they're lesbian. For gay men,
But only on the left side?
but only on the left side got the testosterone.
That's really confusing.
I
Okay,
have no
good.
idea. And for gay men, there was no statistical difference. So there's nothing. We were looking at our fingers with no reason.
I need to cut my fingernails. Anyway.
Oh, don't finger me yet.
Ooh.
Oh,
Thanks, Josh.
my gosh. Oh, thank you.
Gonna try to take advantage of us later, maybe.
Finger me in an alleyway. Another example. This is just another example where we've seen this in other cases where just what happens like prenatally influences might be one of the reasons we're gay. Might influence why like our sexual orientation.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
that's your finger length.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
There's so many things that like, big, what big feet means. big shoes, but also a giant horse cock. But no, like, but there's.
We just talked about that on our
It's
episode
not true.
about something else.
Yeah, there's like height apparently actually might have something to do with penis size, but like just barely.
Oh yeah, I talked about that.
But
yeah.
the way that our bodies work is really wild, and the fact that there's just like some random ass finger length difference can like help you figure out if somebody's a lesbian or not. I don't.
Yeah, just for lesbians though. That's so weird.
Okay, Kyle.
Okay, Mike.
I have to figure out how to do this. I didn't practice this.
Oh wow, that makes me nervous
I
already.
did so much thinking about fingering on the way here.
I mean, whom among us, you know?
And on the plane, I decided to bone up on words that are parts of the body that are also verbs.
Okay.
And I wrote a love letter to Kyle and Gayish.
Oh.
And here we go. So I've got to hand it to you, Kyle. When we were first eyeing the idea of starting a podcast, I wasn't sure we'd be able to stomach each other this long. Turns out we rarely butt heads, though, and when we do, we work it out. Remember when we were just starting to nose our way into the podcasting scene? It seems like just yesterday we were a baby podcast teething on our first shitty microphone. I really wondered who would listen to a couple of assholes jaw on about gay shit. I was also nervous maybe the subject matter would taint our professional reputations and we'd get the shaft. But we elbowed our way up the charts to become a decently sized podcast, and eventually I muscled you into doing a tour. I agreed to head up all the live show preparations. At first, I wondered who would shoulder the burden for paying for all this, but because so many people on Patreon have decided to toe the line and back us, we've been able to foot the bill for tour costs. It's expensive, which is why I'm going to brain anybody I find out that's decided to hamstring us and scalp their tickets. I really thumb my nose at that kind of selfishness. After the show, let's belly up to the bar and order drinks and get some food. Spit your gum out or gut it before our order arrives, and let's make sure the food isn't too hot. I don't want to burn myself and then tongue that gross loose material on the roof of my mouth all night. When we're hanging out with all these listeners later, if I mouth you the words, it means I want to neck with the boy I'm talking to or possibly even throat him. I probably won't fist him, though. Or maybe I will. There's more than one way to skin a tweak. Or a cat. I'll decide that after I start fingering him. Anyway, thanks for being my friend and going on this journey with me, Kyle. Every week we hole up in the studio and put this shit together. I like making you laugh or cock your head to the side in confusion. If I rib you too much for having a dog that won't heel or for not being able to palm a basketball, just knee me and I'll stop dicking around. This podcast is still the most important thing I've ever been a part of, and let's face it, I could never bridge the gap between sexuality and actuality without you. Now,
That was beautiful.
how many body part verbs did I use?
Oh.
Anybody want to guess?
69 is the guess.
Fuck, I fucked up. I should have done 69. 39, Kyle. I did 39.
Wow. What does it mean to brain someone?
To brain somebody, hit them in the head.
Oh, I thought it meant, what's that called? Oh, teabagging. Never mind. Sorry. I was thinking of the wrong thing. Should I tell you something else?
Yeah, let's do it. I have this in my notes. It says we're going to talk about assorted fingering. Kyle.
Yeah, assorted. Well, my first assorted fingering.
Great.
National Fingering Day.
Ooh.
There are conflicting reports about when National Fingering Day is, so we need to get to the bottom of this. Urban Dictionary says it's on April 15th because the definition of National Fingering Day on Urban Dictionary is on April 15th, singular taken, grab a bitch and go at it. Well, I don't know about that, Urban Dictionary, but on whatnationaldayisit.com, it says April 19th. So maybe a National Fingering Week? We got a week in there?
Okay. I support fingering week.
Fingering Week?
Yeah.
It should be 5 days.
Or 10.
Or 10. Or 10 if you're Jewish. Okay. No, the real topic I'm going to talk about is it gay for a guy to... himself. So this was a post to random.
Is it gay for a guy to finger himself?
This was a post to the subreddit random question, and wow, what you're baffled. Why? This is an easy answer.
If
to
you
me.
bang your clone, is it masturbation? This is
Okay.
These are the questions.
No, if you masturbate, is it gay? Like no, like is.
It is jerking somebody off.
It's true.
Go ahead. I interrupted.
No. The answers to the question. No, that was the question. So what?
Do I? Okay. No. And here's the thing. I think, okay, straight guys, I hear you also have a prostate and that it is good. And you should let your lady play with it. And if you need to play with it yourself first, great, you should. That is not gay.
Yeah.
So we should, like, so what if it was? You should be okay with it being gay, straight guys, because there's nothing wrong with being gay. But don't not finger yourself because you think it's gay, because it's not.
Yeah.
But it should be. I don't know what I'm saying.
I don't think. No. You were there all the way until the end. Yeah, no, I think that's true. The people on the internet were surprisingly chill about it. 4 people said no, it is not gay. 2
Great.
people said yes, and 1 person said it depends.
Okay.
This answer didn't make much sense. I don't know what it depends on. The people that said no said one of the answers I thought was very eloquent. There's a difference between what you want to do sexually and who you want to do it with. What you want to do has no bearing on your sexuality. Who you want to do it with is the only thing that does. If you're a guy and not attracted to other guys, then you're not gay. Full stop.
Agreed.
Yeah, I thought that was a really smart thing. Someone else, is it gay for a guy to finger himself? Someone else said, no, your G-spot is up there. Happy hunting.
I'm still looking.
I swear it's there.
Okay, great.
You just got to find the right person with the right size finger. Find a lesbian. Sure, fingers are even. I don't know. Yeah, I think you're right on that. We assign so much gayness to butt stuff, and it shouldn't be that way. But then that creates this whole taboo around butt stuff. I mean, you even talked about in some of the hand signals that like doing certain hand signal, it's gay. It means you're gay because it's a butt. And butts are gay, and I think we need to. You're right.
Like if flipping somebody off is this is a dick, and I'm going to put it in your ass, and that makes you gay. It's your finger, dude.
Yeah. You're so gay that I'm fingering you. Like, So I agree with you and this smart commenter that it's not gay to put your finger in your butt, especially if you're a cis dude. You have a prostate up there, and that feels good to touch.
Yep.
Do you like fingering? Well,
my prostate is broken. That's absolutely true. I do, and I think first, I think that like it's a super important part of anal. Like
it is.
I had a friend with benefits last summer, who was like surprised that I was being a gentle top and warming him up first, and I was like, that's not it's like tops don't do that, because I sure do. Like, get ready. Like, my dick is bigger than this, so like let's start with this.
See, I get myself ready.
Oh well,
I don't need a man. Well, until I do.
But you also have a tiny butthole, right?
That's true. So I got to do prep work before he gets there.
Yeah.
And so by that time,
yeah. Okay.
Toss it in me. Bro.
Okay. All right.
What?
No, I think it's nice. I think that it's like I don't know. It's a very intimate act, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And can be hot and fun and part of the process. So yeah. As for getting fingered, I don't know. First, I don't really like dildos. And fingers aren't dildos. I'm not like equating that, but like there's definitely something about like the feeling, like if I can feel this fingernails or feel like the skin is different, like your finger's skin is kind of rough or can be depending on the dude.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel great.
Yeah.
I don't know. How about you?
I agree. I think there are a lot of ways it can go wrong. So I think there are more ways it can go wrong than right. So receiving, I don't love it. I've done it a couple times with like partners that I trust, and it felt like super good because they were just finding that, they were doing the come hither motion just right. But I actually really like fingering guys.
You've said that before on the show. Again, I re-listened to the fisting episode because I was mad that that person was angry at us. Mm-hmm. And
good reason to do anything.
But you said in there that like you forget how much you like fingering somebody until you do it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's like, I don't know, it's a whole different world that you don't usually live in.
And
like
then
you see things from the whole different side of the world.
I was married to a woman, so I like it's the big.
That's right.
A big yes to that. But have you ever fingered a lady?
I have not.
A vagina?
Oh yes, I did. Oh yeah.
Because
my god.
if you were gonna go with I have not, I was gonna say we talked about this at breakfast and you said you did. You fucking liar.
God. I need to apologize to my high school girlfriend who I tried to finger once. I'm so. No one had any fun. It was so bad. It lasted for like 20 seconds and it was like, nope. Stop, done. Like I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like less than ideal for her as well.
Oh yeah. No, worse for her, I think, than for me. But I did not enjoy it. Mm-hmm. But you finger your wife? It's a weird thing just to ask a person.
Yeah, I mean, I did, absolutely, yeah. And like the thing. Okay, vaginas are great, Kyle. The reason vaginas are great is they're self-lubricating.
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah. That's not. Butts don't do that.
Butts don't do that.
Well, any kind of lubricant you find is an accident.
It's leftovers.
Whoops.
Oopsie. But yes, I absolutely did. It was fun. I thought it was fun.
You liked it?
Yeah, why not?
Would recommend?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Don't knock until you try it, Kyle.
I think I did, and I knock it. I fully knock it. Yeah.
All right. Did we do it?
I think we did it.
So in just a second, we're going to take a break. But we're not going anywhere, so don't leave. People in New York fucking got up and left because they're like, well, I guess we're done now. We always take a break so that we can sell ads.
To have an ad spot.
But per live show tradition, we always take a shot when we take a break. So if you would like to take a shot with us, that would be great. Thank you to whoever brought us this.
Thanks for these shots.
And I guess, is that it? Are we like?
Oh, you need to stall enough so that I can get the
You've
break
got
song
this,
ready.
girl. I believe you. Okay. Great. Should we take a break?
Let's take a break.
Let's take a break.
This is the part where Mike can take a break.
Boy, I don't know that taking a shot was such a great idea. It never is. I'm never like, oh, we took a break and I took a shot. I'm so glad I did that.
Right. Well, there was that one time that it was like the Portland Podcast Festival where it was Maker's Mark.
Oh, yeah, because they sponsored it.
And you love whiskey.
Yeah. Jesus. What did I say? Oh, it tastes like tomorrow's regrets today. Whiskey.
They did not turn that into a bumper sticker.
They did. I don't think they supported that.
Oh, God. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So are we back?
We're back.
We're back.
We are going to do our Gayest and Straightest.
We're going to do our Gayest and Straightest, but first, our website is gayishpodcast.com.
We are on socials at Gayish Podcast.
Our hotline, you can send us text messages or leave us voicemails, is 5855-GAYISH. That's 585-542-9474. Standard rates apply.
Ooh.
You all right?
Doing great. Our email is gayishpodcast@gmail.com.
And our physical mailing address is Post Office Box 19882, Seattle, Washington, 98109.
A couple programming things.
A couple of programming things. So first, next weekend the whole weekend is Pride 48 live streaming weekend. It's a whole crew of different LGBTQ and LGBTQ friendly podcasts. We've been hanging out with those guys for many years now, and this will actually be their last live streaming weekend. But if you go to pride48.com, you can listen to stuff all weekend long. We will be streaming Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific. That is
this Sunday if you're listening to this when the regular podcast comes out.
That's right, Sunday the 17th at 4 p.m. Pacific. So tune in, pride48.com, or I think we'll also be streaming to Facebook.
Oh, will we?
I don't know.
Okay, pride48.com.
Don't hassle me, Kyle. And then we will be doing a live show in Houston, Texas, right in your backyard.
Yeah. I grew up outside of there.
Speaking of fingering, your backyard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it.
That is
I got it.
Sunday, October the 15th. Tickets are on sale. Go to gayishpodcast.com/live to buy tickets.
Yeah. Gayest and Straightest?
Yeah, let's do our Gayest and Straightest. Be ready to do your Gayest and Straightest, y'all. I'll go first.
Okay.
All right. So the gayest thing about me this week, you called it. I was playing music on my phone because I've had in my head now for a while. What song was that I said was stuck?
Ed Sheeran.
Ed
something
Sheeran,
about a
Castle
mountain.
on the Hill was stuck in my head, which could be my straightest of the week.
Yes.
But the gayest of the week was like right after that, my phone decided to play Throat Goat by Kim Petras. And Kyle was like, that's your gayest of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Right there happening in front of us live. Yeah, and that's absolutely true.
Yep.
And then, well, it was either that or shaking hands with that boy's pork loin dick last night. But
right.
well, anyway, the straightest thing about me this week was the boyfriend took me to a wallaby farm.
Okay.
There's a wallaby farm outside of Seattle. It's
Farm for wallabies.
kangaroos and wallabies, and this man who like raises them from babies and like feeds them with bottles so that they're not assholes, because kangaroos in the wild are assholes.
Yeah.
These are just like pets. They just like roll up to you and like say hey. The straightest thing though was like this man was not a person I was prepared to come out to, so like total butch mode came out.
Oh,
Like-
yeah.
like
Why? When you were with your boyfriend?
yeah, we stood like several feet apart at all times. It was really fun, though. If you get a chance to hang out with wallabies, y'all, it's great.
It's a weird, weird situation that would come up, I think.
Yeah. And boyfriend made out with one. It was fun.
Okay, you need to clarify. You keep saying that. You need to clarify that.
Well, one of the tame kangaroos has the, like, clearly been circus trained or whatever. And so he gives you, like, they gave us all of this bread to feed them because they love it, and gave him a piece of bread and had him put it between his lips. And then the kangaroo, like, kind of climbed up him and ate it out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And then gave him a hug.
Yeah. It was cute.
I'll show you the video. Anybody who wants to see the kangaroo making out with my boyfriend video, happy to show. But yeah, how about you? What's up?
My gayest is definitely going to the Eagle and seeing someone lick that Go-Go Boy's butthole.
Yeah, that happened. That definitely happened.
He was very excited to see him.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah. They knew each other and it was consensual, but it was also like, hey, how's it going? And then he turned around and then that man put his face in his butthole.
Yeah. I don't know what amount you have to tip to get that service, but I didn't do that. My straightest is I spit over the side of a bridge. Like a dude.
Do we need more context?
No.
Okay.
There was, I don't know. I just decided to spit.
Great.
Like a sports player.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All
Go sports. Does anyone want to
share their gayest and
and
straightest? My goodness. The man with the beard is the first one that I saw because it's very bright up here. So come on up. Please be sure to tell us your name.
Hello, my name is Scott, otherwise known as Explosive Lasagna.
Oh, great.
Hi.
I had a plan, but my straightest tonight is showing up to this show early and spilling my beer over my new friends.
Did they deserve
New
it?
friends. Yeah.
Nah.
All right.
My gayest is planning a trip around, coming to see my favorite podcast.
Oh.
And whoring my way from Culver City up to West Hollywood.
So wait, Scott, are you not from here?
I am from the mountains of Colorado.
Really?
I am.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And you get a mug right behind you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your gayest and straightest.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Oh.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Terrence.
Hey, Terrence.
Patreon up in this bitch.
Yeah.
So my gayest and straightest are actually kind of like very related.
We love a twofer.
They're intertwined.
Yep.
So I recently bought a Dremel and like a saw attachment, like goggles, glasses. Was working on this whole like project, getting sweaty, like drinking alcohol, all the things.
Yes.
but it was to make my concert outfit for Beyonce.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
That's fucking magical. Thank you. Hager, hey.
Hi, Rudy, longtime listener and Patreon member.
Hi, Rudy.
My straightest is I always have tools in my car because I'm the handy homo of my friends and I always fix and build things for them.
Oh, nice.
My gayest is that I crocheted you guys a gift in honor of your award-winning podcast.
Oh my God.
And hopefully it'll help with your issues you have, Mike.
Oh God. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
This is the biggest crochet cock and balls I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's not the largest I make. Okay. I did make one for Ma Johnson too, so.
Oh my God.
I've never seen a crocheted dick and balls. It's so lifelike.
All right. Well,
Thank you so much.
Mom,
Next time we see her.
next time we see you, got a gift for you.
Okay.
Awesome. Awesome.
Who else?
Yeah, somebody else? Somebody else want to go?
Hi, my name is John. I'm the guy who uses your mouth mic for the election PSAs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You make
Anyways,
Mike say smart things, which is very, very sweet of you.
My straightest is actually I am moving from the Bay Area to DC, and basically all my earthly belongings are in my car right now, and they're all like disheveled and everything. Basically, I'm, I guess, sleeping like a straight guy for
Great.
a very long time. That's all I went to go to DC. But my gayest was last week. I was in Portland, Oregon, and I was hanging out with some friends, and they decided to go to a male stripper bar.
Great.
And I
Was it
got
the Silverado?
Silverado, yes.
Yeah.
No, and we also went to Stacks afterwards. So we went to both.
Great.
And I got my first lap dance from an adult entertainer.
Congrats.
And yes, it went really well.
It went well. That's good to know. That's good to keep in mind.
All right, we're out of mugs, but we'll take more if you want to do one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm also Rudy, regular size Rudy.
I love Bob's Burgers.
Yeah. So my gayest of the week is I got a tattoo of a bottle of poppers. I got double Scorpio right here.
Oh my God.
Double
Yes.
Scorpio.
Show it. Oh my God. Don't take off your pants yet.
Maybe. Yeah.
Do that later. Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's magical.
I still have the second skin on there, so it looks a little funny. But my straightest of the week is I was actually wearing a way gayer shirt. And I was on my way. I dropped my whole cheeseburger on here. I had ketchup in. So I reached into the back seat of my car, and I just grabbed the first thing I saw, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm wearing this.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is there anything gayer than a Poppers tattoo? That might be up there with the gayest.
Is there anything straighter than a cheeseburger stain? Yeah, come on, let's do it.
What's yours?
We can give you a limited edition Gayish tour poster because I accidentally packed some.
If you're not ready now, maybe San Francisco or Houston or whatever.
Yeah.
So my
What was your name?
Eric.
Eric. Hi, Eric.
Hi.
Listen.
Bottom. What?
What's your gayest and straightest?
Criteria. So my straightest is I've been redrawing a sketch of my air vent for my 05 Wrangler to print on my 3D printer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking straight.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's like big tech bro vibes.
My gayest is I recently, so on Friday night, I went to an event at the Bullet Bar. It was Cocksocks. And I met up with a guy who used to be a bartender in Atlanta and suddenly he's now here going to USC, and I'm like, the fuck? So I got to reconnect with somebody that I haven't seen in a long time, over 3,000 miles away.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you.
At an event called Cocksucks?
Yes. Were you guys here Friday?
Coccyx or
Cock sucks.
Cock sucks.
Sucks.
No.
Like socks.
Socks. Got it. Got it.
Thank you.
That sounds very gay. Thank you.
Oh, Kyle. Yeah, sure.
Hi, my name is Austin. Mine kind of goes hand in hand too. I have.
Oh, sorry.
There I am.
Good.
I have a rule about spiders. If I am the manliest person in the room, I will handle it, which happens rarely, so really not too many spiders. But I was in a room full of queers, and there was a spider needed dealt with. I dealt with it, and then a couple days later, I was in a room with one of my girlfriends and her boyfriend, and I jumped up on the couch and screamed like a little bitch, and I was like, get it! Straightest again.
Perfect.
Oh, goodness, Kyle. We did it.
I think we did it.
Another live show under the belt.
Under the wraps.
We fingered this real good.
We've put it up our butts. It's real good.
Thank you to all of you for being here. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Yes, thank you so much.
Appreciate your support and love. Thank you to Dave and the awesome staff here at Akbar. They've been wonderful to work with today. I really appreciate that. Kyle and I need to wrap this shit up and pack up, but we're gonna make Derek do most of the work and hang out and just
say hi and
meet
chat
and greet, whatever. Yeah. So be sure to stick around and then tip well because they've been super nice to us here. And thanks to everybody who did their Gayest and Straightest just now from the audience. We really appreciate that. And thanks to my friends Clara Lewis and Dr. Adam Fowler for working the door today. Really appreciate the two of you. You're amazing.
And there's a select group of people we like to call our super gap bridgers that give us money, and we appreciate them most of all. Thank you to Kit Oliver, Andrew Bugby, William Bryant, Christopher M., John Crowley, Stephen Porch, Yost Osel, Harry Shaw, Josh Copeland, Jonathan Montañez, Wadu, Forrest Nail, Patrick Martin, James Barrows, Steve Douglas, Explosive Lasagna, Michael Covington, Just Jamie, Kevin Henderson, Thomas B., Timothy Sora, Dusty Sands, A.E. Coleman, Chris Cacciatorians, and Jerome York. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That's it. This has been Gayish from Akbar in the Silver Lake neighborhood of Los Angeles, California, and the Chris Cacciatorian Studios. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz. Until next week, be butch, be fabulous, be you.
See
you next
week. Oh, Kyle. Oh, your laptop hates you.